About set to race, and away they go. Good enough start for them. Queen of the Palace began well. Haphazards on the rail, and on the outside of those runners is Queen of the Palace. Sky Velocity, Blue Palace is circling horses now, and then came behind those Dreamscape, Commerson's Passions further back. The red colours midfield, Light of Day races further back in the run. Then came behind those 2 lengths back in the field as 3 Cheers, Vintage Crystals further back. And racing out at the end of the field is Walk on the Wild Side, racing around 10-12 lengths off the leader. They're coming down the straight now with 800 metres to go, and Queen of the Palace, after circling runners, is in front and clear by 2 lengths from Blue Palace in second. Sky Velocity's on the inside third, the white cap, then Light of Day further back in the field. They followed in behind those then by 3 Cheers, and Haphazards on the far side. 500 metres to go. Blue Palace has now taken over. Light of Day's travelling with it on the outside. Down the inside is Sky Velocity. Dreamscape's trying to find a way through the green sleeves and cap in the centre, but can't get a gap. Then came behind that Queen of the Palace, but it's now Sky Velocity in front with Blue Palace. On the outside, Walk on the Wild Side. Its customary style is flying home up the centre of the track. It's Sky Velocity in front, but here's Walk on the Wild Side. And Walk on the Wild Side pulls away now to win it. Second to Sky Velocity, then came Blue Palace, and Haphazard was further back. So here's Walk on the Wild Side, the 3-year-old daughter of Gimme the Green Light, out of the Where's That Tiger mare, Tiger's Touch. It's on the outside here, the blue sleeves, white cap under Richard Fourie exploding through. Unfortunately, Dreamscape was moving in well, and unfortunately couldn't get a gap, got very tight for room there in the closing stages. But Walk on the Wild Side with its clear path comes home well. 3:11.65, that's the provisional result.
Walk on the Wild Side has absolutely loved her first outing on turf. It's been everything that she's needed, a little bit more gradual and a bit more time for her to get that frame under control. She's come through very, very well for the win. Very well done to her groom, Yonela, who's going to be very excited about 1,500 Rand from World Sports Betting. And once again, always a big thank you to Godfrey, who joins me to collect on their behalf. Godfrey, thank you so much. Richard is going to step in to join me once again this afternoon. Walk on the Wild Side, lovely daughter of Gimme the Green Light. And Richard, you are also of the opinion that she's going to love being on the grass, and she has duly arrived and once again showing that beautiful turn of foot.
Very much so, and she's so immature still, even on the canter pass. Well, I went out first, and
that was one of the things
she dug her toes. So I was worried. I was like, okay, girl, what do you want to do? And a couple of horses came past, she latched on and she went on with her business. But back at the gates, looks at everything. The idea was today to get a good break on her and sort of get her in the race, but that never happened. I was at the back of the field, having to bide my time, but nice speed. Everything was nice and rolling, and we've seen her turn her foot in the first run when she made up heaps of ground. So never too phased, and sat through them for a little bit, and sort of showed her daylight, and she was ready to rock and roll. So great win from the filly. Well done to the boss. Well done to the big bosses, Stefan, and guys at Richmond. She's a great little filly, and she's going to continue winning.
What's quite nice is sometimes when they are immature like that, they can tend to go nervous and get a little bit highly strung. She just looks more like she's quite willing to set back. She's got a head on her shoulder. She'll take it all in. She doesn't lose herself in her nervousness.
Yeah, no, definitely spot on. I think with more racing, she'll be a lot more matured. She had 3 runs right on top of each other in a matter of like 5 weeks, and so the batteries were a bit flat, and we just recharged her a bit, and that's what you see. So I think with her spacing her right, keeping her confident, and she'll keep producing. So great win. Well done to Team Richmond and to the boss and everybody behind the scenes doing all the hard graft.
Well delivered.
Thank you very much.
Alan stepping on in for the third time this afternoon, so the yard is really enjoying a good day. And Alan, I'm sure you've heard there from the chat that I had with Richard that a lot of words like immature and will come on coming to hand, and that's just her behaviour, but you can almost see it in her frame. She's still a horse that needs to fill out a bit.
Yeah, she is. She's a filly that's still very, very immature, still backwards, and she learns with every run. I think, like I said, it's her first run on the grass. She's got a good turn of foot, but never been blessed with the best of draws most of the time. And this long running, I know Richard wanted to be a little bit handier, but didn't work out once again. He bided his time and got a nice clear run. And when he asked for the effort, she responded accordingly. So very well done to Ridgemont, to Bread the filly, to Ridgemont, Craig Kieswetter and Devon Heifer on owning the filly. Can't ask for more. Ran a good race.
Fantastic. Congratulations. Great win there for the yard, as said, number 3 on the day. And just to echo the sentiments, well done to breeders Ridgemont Highlands, to owners Ridgemont, nominee Craig Kieswetter and Mr. Devon Heifer. Congratulations. All comments coming through from both trainer and jockey alluding that there's more to come from Walk on the Wild Side.